Good morning, everybody. Today is August 23rd. I'd like to welcome you to the Curriculum Committee meeting. All members are present. I need approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4-0. Thank you. Approval of meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0. Thank you. Dr. Rogers.
Good morning, board members. Thank you for being here. We have several agenda items, action items today, and I will start with approval of some sole source purchases. First off, we have two sole source purchases from federal programs. The first one being Lexia Learning. And you received the memo regarding this. I'd like to open it up for what questions you have.
Any questions?
Yes. Have we used this program before?
Yes, and we have Dr. Daniels on. Yes, this is for the letters professional development that teachers go through, and a reading resource for one of our Title I schools.
Okay, how much was the cost before? Because it says not to exceed 200,000.
The cost before of letters was we worked with a state contract, and now we have to sustain the cost of letters professional development for our elementary teachers. So we're not under that state contract anymore. For the Lexia Core 5, I'm going to defer to Dr. Daniels.
Good morning. For the Lexia Core 5, the cost was $13,800.
Can you put your video on, Dr. Daniels?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's easier to see who's talking. Thank you.
And
Okay.
then Power Up Literacy.
The
Power
power,
Up Lit.
go ahead.
I apologize. Power Up Literacy is a combination of the Core 5 that is being utilized at one of our Title I schools as well, and that includes that $13,800 cost.
Okay. And then the letter suite, is that the big chunk of the money then?
Yes, ma'am, and that's we as an LEA have to sustain the letters professional development for our teachers.
Okay. Any other questions? Need a motion to approve?
I hope that we get a budget, just not the 200,000, because that I don't have a clue what this is and how much the whole thing is going to cost. And we have a contract that we'll have to do, and what are we going to put in there? So
Right. Yes, ma'am. We're happy to get that information for you. It depends
you.
upon the number of new teachers. I'm happy
Yep.
to provide that for you.
thank you.
Sure. So the exact budget. Just make a note of that.
Okay, I need a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
No, no.
Well, are we gonna have you come back with the correct information?
Yes, I can provide it for you prior to the September board meeting.
Okay.
You will? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
What's
then
the-
yes. Then yes.
Okay.
I don't like not to exceed something. I want to know how much it's going to cost.
Okay. So we'll survey the number of new teachers and
Okay.
teachers that need that and
Thank you.
provide that for you.
Okay, so yes.
So a motion to approve, as long as. you wanna
Yes.
amend that? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
The Outteach programs?
So with the Outteach program, you've also received the memo regarding this, and the cost is not to exceed 140,000. What questions do you have?
So I have the same
Yeah,
question. So you're going to come back to us in the, for the September board meeting, correct?
Sure, we'll,
Okay,
we'll do
great.
that survey and get that cost for you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I mean, honestly, it's gonna be that for all of these, right?
Right? So you can
Yeah.
say that for everything. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay,
So-
any other questions on Outteach?
We've used that before, Dr. Rogers.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what- Okay, I remember hearing about that.
Okay,
that's the outdoor learning. Yeah.
motion to approve,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
4-0. Studica,
All right, so Studica is a sole source purchase. We're seeking approval. This is from Career and Technical Education. We will survey the teachers to get a cost number for you and provide that prior to the September board meeting.
Okay.
how many schools have this program? Is it just Sun Valley or?
Mr. Davis?
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Trying to get my mic to work. Sorry about that. Yeah, that is correct. It is just one program. We have a brand new teacher over there who will be working through the process of getting the new supplies and equipment ordered for the aerospace program.
Okay.
Mr.
Thank
Davis,
you.
could you tell me exactly, like in just 30 seconds, kind of what this program entails? What are the students going to receive? What do the students receive from the program?
So this is a supplies, equipment, curriculum that supports the aerospace engineering program over at Sun Valley High School. Of course, it goes through 4 levels, and really what that program is designed for students to get engineering training related to the aerospace industry. So this is just equipment and things that they need. Kind of think of those things that they would need to just replace what they've used in the past to kind of get there. So it's kind of a year-to-year thing. However, it does change a little bit as prices go up and all that. But
Right.
that
Sun
is
Valley's
kind of-
had this program
yes,
for a
yes,
while.
that is
Yep.
correct. Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
Yeah, and it sounds like a very exciting program. And I know we talked one time previously about transportation, things of that nature. But in the future, I would really love to see how we could share the wealth and the excitement of our different programs across the board, because a lot of our families, a lot of our students in District 1 specifically, exposure is key. Exposure is key. And if they're exposed to some different things, I believe it would really enlighten them to embrace a different career pathway or what have you. So I know that transportation, there's some challenges and what have you, and I'm glad that the students at Sun Valley are really being impacted by it. I'm just really hoping again in the future we could really provide some way where that thing could, all of the different programs in the clusters could really be available to all of our students. So I would love to visit that program.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you drop by and see that. We also have our avionics program over there, and they are in our academy program. Students can come over there, but again, they do have to provide their own transportation.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 4-0. Reality Works.
So with Reality Works, this is through Career and Technical Education as well, and you received the memo on that. We will provide the finite cost, and I'll open it up for questions.
And this is just for 2 schools, Forest Hills and Parkwood Middle.
That is correct.
Any questions?
Mm-mm.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
So move. Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0. E3 Teleacoustics.
Can we jump back to Vex Robotics, Ms. May?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
I'm
we,
sorry.
That's okay. So
Robotics. Sorry
the
about that.
Vex Robotics purchase is for our robotics courses and robotics competitions. We'll get that finite cost for you, absolutely, and I'll open it up for questions.
What schools is would this program be located at, Dr. Rogers?
Dr. Davis, I'm sure can speak more in detail. So, Mr. Davis?
Well, I appreciate you giving me that promotion to Dr. Davis, and Dr. Rogers. So thank you for that. But yeah, that's a very good question, Mr. Kirkpatrick. This program is in the vast majority of our middle schools and our high schools. So, and in places where, we don't necessarily have a full program, we may have a club there. So this does impact the vast majority of those schools, and the schools that do not have a robotics program, it does fall under our academy model. And again, students are allowed to travel there. And this does also support our robotics competition that we have twice a year. So students are able to use that equipment in there. And this is really this is like anything else, this equipment, students use it and it wears out, and we have to replace them pretty much every year, as well as providing new game elements that they work on in their classes.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0. Okay, sorry about that. Now we'll go to E3 teleacoustics.
Yes, we have two EC sole source purchases. The first one is the teleacoustics, that's odometer equipment. And so you've received the memo on that. We'll get that finite cost, and I'll open it up for questions.
What is this? Because I don't know what that is.
Dr. Beecham, could you give us a little more information about the odometers?
Yes, good morning. So those are the audiometers that we use for hearing testing for our students when they're in the testing process, when they fail the hearing screenings.
Okay, any other questions? Need a motion to approve?
So moved. Second. Whatever. Aye.
Oh, thank you. EC literacy curriculum 23-24 school year.
Yes, ma'am. This is our last sole source purchase for EC. It's the curriculum that is used in being able to purchase the consumables, the materials that students use on a daily basis. And so the finite cost is there in the memo, and I'll open it up to questions that you may have.
No question.
This is just using any existing ESSER funds, you said it says, right? Yeah, okay.
That's correct.
And what happens when those are gone?
We'll have to figure that out next year. Yeah.
Dr. Beecham will work within her EC budget to be able to absorb what the costs are that she needs to replace every year.
Okay.
We've had Spire for quite a few years.
Yeah, that's why I just.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Nope.
Need a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0. Okay, contract approval with Proximity Learning.
Yes, ma'am. So we're seeking approval for this contract with Proximity Learning. This will provide certified teachers at Monroe Middle School and East Union Middle School in core subject areas. You have a memo regarding the contract, and I'll open it up for questions.
Okay. So we have East Union and Monroe Middle due to the vacancies. What have we asked the question? I know we've talked about this before. The challenge with getting teachers to come to these schools. What has been the issue or the challenge? And the reason I'm asking is because a teacher is very much needed, especially in these schools. But there's so many things that are going to raise red flags within the structure of that classroom, with the virtual teacher, classroom control and things of that nature. But we do need a teacher. So what's been the challenge? What's been the conversation about why teachers do not want to come?
Reverend Kirkpatrick, thank you for that question. It's the main obstacle is the national teacher shortage and recruiting teachers to our schools, and that includes Monroe Middle and East Union. So they are employing a wide variety of strategies, partnering with human resources, and we will continue to find and seek out teachers to be able to be the teacher of record in these classrooms. In the meantime, to address your concerns of what may happen is that we want a certified teacher in front of these students, and versus a long-term sub, which most likely may or may not have a teaching certification. So we want the expert with the students for that core instruction.
And I think too that we in Monroe and I think East Union, our teachers get more 8,000 to 12,000 more than the other teachers in every other school. So we're trying hard to get as many we can. We really are.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. The long-term sub situation, I did that in when I was a sub, and it's not good when you do not know how to properly support these kids. So,
and the content, yes, sir.
Yes.
So we're trying to mitigate that and put a certified teacher with our students.
Who will be in the classroom? Will there be a physical person in the classroom?
Absolutely, and that may be a school-based staff member or a substitute, ideally a school-based staff member.
Okay. Will they be knowledgeable of the lessons or the instruction as well, or will they just be in the classroom as it pertains to monitoring?
No, we foresee the staff member being a bridge.
Okay.
So that when the live streaming occurs, the staff member is also facilitating that learning as well. So they are in partnership. It's not just it's beyond supervision.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
And the goal is still to hire an in-person teacher. So we're going to constantly keep looking to hire. And then as soon as we find somebody, that person would then be taking over that classroom, and we wouldn't use the online anymore, right?
Absolutely. We will continue to seek out certified teachers and go through our hiring strategies and practices to get a teacher of record in the classroom. Yes, ma'am.
And then if, say for instance, it's for math, I mean, I guess English also, but math specifically, I remember when my daughter was in middle school, like a lot of times kids need extra help, like they need tutoring. Sometimes they need to meet with the teacher before school, after school. Is that going to be an option as well?
Yes, ma'am. So the teacher, and through proximity learning, they will help with the communication aspect, identifying needs, and will be in communication with the school so that the needs of each student are communicated and other supports can be put in play for students if in fact they need extra math support.
And someone, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and we're going to obviously be watching this very closely to make sure that it's actually working.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we are as well, and we can provide those updates for you.
I have a question. So I'm sorry, maybe I missed it. Where are these certified teachers from?
So the certified teachers work with proximity learning. So it's through this company that we would like to get approval for the contract. So proximity learning provides the certified teacher.
Right, but they're going to have or use North Carolina, because they could be from anywhere in the country, but they'll use North Carolina.
Yes, they do have, great question. They do have North Carolina certified teachers, and we will utilize our Union County Public Schools curriculum and pacing guides so that everything is streamlined for our students.
Okay, and this is solely to be used. This isn't for, like, say, how it was during COVID where the students at home doing this. They're in the classroom at the school at whatever two schools. What schools did we say? It was East Union and which other?
Monroe Middle.
Okay, so the students will be in the classroom live, but with someone doing it virtually instead of a physical teacher in the classroom.
That is correct.
Okay.
How many classrooms will this affect? Do we know already?
Yeah. Do we know
So
how
the contract will be for 7 sections of core instruction, which is 2 to 3 teachers.
Oh.
Between the schools.
Okay.
Yes.
And the money or the I think I read that with the salary that would be for these teachers in the classroom is going towards the program itself. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, is this like a contract that we have that we're kind of stuck in if we sign it? But then if we have like a teacher, if we do hire from this in this time frame, can we break that contract? And do you know what I mean? Do you understand my question?
Yes. So, Ms. McLam, chime in here, but we pay month to month. And so if we no longer need the service of a teacher, we can end that part of the contract.
Okay. I don't want it. I guess my thing is too, I don't want the funding, but I also don't want it to affect our students, where they're learning, like my child, she does well when she's got her structure and follows a schedule. I don't want it to affect our students where it's, they're starting one way and then they have to switch off and it's a different teacher, and that gets kind of, especially with the little ones, that's all. I just want to make sure that's not something
Right.
that's a permanent. Yeah.
And it's our goal here is to put a certified teacher with our students versus a long-term sub that most likely would not have that certification. So that is our rationale.
Okay.
And since this is a pilot, like, are we thinking we're going to give it half a school year, like, and then do a serious assessment, or the full school year? I mean, at what point are we going to decide either if this is not working and we shouldn't be continuing?
Ms. May, we will keep a close eye and have pulse checks and evaluate the effectiveness and work with Proximity Learning on any adjustments, any feedback. That's part of the contract, is some observation and feedback to ensure effectiveness. And we're happy to bring some updates to the curriculum committee along the way about the effectiveness of Proximity Learning. Happy to do that.
Okay. Any other questions? Need a motion to send this to the board?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh. Our next meeting is September 27th at 10 a.m. via Zoom. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All
Have a
in
good
favor?
day, everyone.